Hi guys, so we're gonna be doing part 2 of the previous question paper. So now we're gonna be solving question 6. So we're doing prove the identities, so trig identities. Okay, so in this one, we're gonna start with 6.1. So we're gonna start with 6.1. Then for 6.1, then for 6.1, we'll just start with the cos 180. So let's write down the cos 180. So I'll just write everything down as it is. So we have to prove that it's equals to this. So I'll just write everything down. It's cos squared 180 plus x plus tan x minus 180 times sine 720 minus x times cos x. So they want us to prove that is cos 2x. So they want us to prove that it's cos 2x. So you've got cos squared 180 plus x plus tan x minus 180 times sine 720 times cos x. Okay, so we're gonna start with cos squared x. So let me tell you something. You see, the moment you've got cos squared x, this can be also written as open bracket cos x all squared. So it's the same answer. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Just know that whatever the exponent that is there, it can come outside like that. But when you remove it, you don't do this. You don't say cos squared x squared. No, you only square the trig function, the cos. Okay, so that can be written as that. So we're gonna start with cos. So let's change it to cos 180 plus x all squared, and then we say plus what is tan x minus 180. Okay, so normally I always advise the guys to use the calculator. Let me show you the calculator. So you can say tan, and then you put any value that is lower than 180, any value that is lower than 180. So I normally put 1. I say 1 minus 180. So this gives you the sign. So this gives you the sign. So there's two methods that you can use. So you see, already this gave you the positive answer. So if the answer is positive, then you just write, it tells you that tan is positive, so you just write tan x, a positive tan x. Then the alternative method is to use the Cartesian plane, where you know that this side all student take care. So obviously you left all of them positive this side, then this side is sine. It's for sine 180. Then this side is 10 180. Then this side is cos 360. Okay. Then this side on A, it's all of them. Okay. It's all of them. So I normally use that method. I normally use that method. So this side is theta. So I normally use this method. So you're gonna check x minus 180. So you can change it to be like this. So let me show you. So you can change it to be like this because you are not used to this method. You want the angle, which is x, to be in front of that 180. So you want it to be in this format. So you just change it to say tan. Okay. You're gonna put the minus outside. Why are you putting the minus outside? Because of you want to change it. You want to change it. So let me show you. Okay, it's fine. Let's do it inside. So you're gonna say minus into 180 minus x. So you're gonna change it to be like the normal format, you see, like to be like that. So we want to change it to that format. Do you see that is the same? So change it to the normal format. Do you see that if you remove the brackets, you're gonna have minus 180 plus x, which is the same as x minus 180. So those are all the same. So if you have got something like this, the minus that is outside, this one, you're gonna take it out. You're gonna say minus tan. You're gonna take it out. You take it out of outside the bracket. Minus x. So you're gonna check. Where do you have this? Where do you have 180 minus x? 180 minus x is on what? So it's on there. This one, sine 180 minus theta. And then you also have cos 180 minus theta. Then you also have tan 180 minus theta. So where do you have tan 180 minus x or minus theta? It's on the second quadrant. So on the second quadrant, what is tan? Tan is a negative. Tan is negative. So in this quadrant, guys, by the way, tan is negative. And then also the cos is negative. So the only one that is positive is sine. Then this side is only cos. It's only tan that is positive, and the rest are negative. Negative. Then on the cos side, it means tan x is negative and also the sine is negative. So you see, then the final answer will be, there's a negative, then they tell you that the answer will be equal to tan x, but it should be negative. You see, we already have a negative outside, so you're gonna have negative into a negative again, then negative. The second negative that I just wrote now is the one that tells you that this is the same as the negative, this negative. See, tan x. So this will be equal to tan x. So that's why I wrote tan x. You see, my method is easier. It's a lot easier. So the method that I taught you is a lot easier. So it's straightforward. If you want to show all the steps, you can use that method to tell you that, okay, you see, it's easy, very easy. Okay, guys, let's proceed. Then you've got times that dot 720 minus x. 720 minus x. You see, I'm gonna do the same thing. I just go to the calculator, say sine 720. So x, let x equals to a 1 always, minus 1. So you see, it's a negative. So you just write negative. It tells you that it's negative sine x. So you just say open another bracket, minus sine x. So I can prove to you that this method works. It's easy. You can reduce that 720 to the lowest. So you can say 360 minus 720. It's fine. So let's do that. Okay, so you can do that. You can say 720 minus 360. So you are using reduction method, so you reduce the, you see it's 360, you get 360. So your angle now, that 720 will change to 360. So on 360 is on the fourth quadrant. On the fourth quadrant is sign positive or negative. Sign will be negative on the third quadrant. You see, that's why I'm getting a negative sign. So my method is easier, guys. And then cos x, you don't change it, you just write it as it is. There's nothing to do there. Then now how do we remove that? So let's work out this one. We solve the bracket now. We solve this one. So you just go to the calculator again. It's quite easier. It's quite easier with the calculator. Trust me. So you're just gonna punch. The only one that you cannot, where you cannot use a calculator, is when you've got sine 90 minus x. It will give you only the sine, but remember this will give you a cos x. Cos 90 minus x will give you a sine x. The method that I'm using for the calculator will only give you the sine, whether it's positive cos or negative cos. It will only give you the sine, but just know that it will change from sine to cos if it's a 90-degree angle. Like for this one, if it's sine 90 minus x, you just go to the calculator and say sine 90 minus 1. I always say let x equals to minus 1. You see it's a positive cos. Okay, it's fine. The answer is right. Then let's go to cos. Cos 90 minus 1. Is the sign positive or negative? It's a positive as well. So if you've got sine 90 plus x, then it's a different story. See? So we'll get to that, not now. For now, let's solve this question. So we're gonna use the calculator to solve the what is inside the bracket. So you solve the bracket first. It's bottommost. So you're gonna say cos 180 plus 1. What do you get? A negative. It's a negative inside the bracket, ne? Minus cos x all squared. You see? So what did I say? This, do you agree that everything is going to be squared, ne? So you're going to have two of them. So this was the same as cos x minus cos x times minus cos x. This will give you a positive cos squared x. I always say don't square the x. It's squared x always. So it's a positive. Okay. Let's change that to positive. So this will give us a positive x squared there. Then plus. Then here, how can you change tan? You see it's multiplied by a sine and a cos. So change it to sine x over cos x. The moment you've got a tan multiplied by a sine or a cos, you change it to this format. Okay, and then you're gonna have cos squared x plus sine x. I change the cos, the tan. So the moment you have got a tan multiplied by cos or x, you change it. So I've got minus sine x times cos x. So what will cancel? This and this will cancel. Then you're left with cos squared x plus, okay, it will be a minus. You know why? This and this will multiply, then you're gonna have a minus. Minus sine squared x. So what is cos squared x minus sine squared x? Do we have something like this? Yes, we do have something like this. It's a double angle. It's a double angle. This is a double angle. So you go to the formula sheet, you check if you've got something like this. Yes, this will give you a cos 2x. then that proves your answer. That proves your answer. If you go to the formula sheet, you're gonna see cos squared x minus sine squared x, and that's how we do the proving there, guys. Okay, so let's go to the next question. So the next question says use cos alpha plus beta equals to cos, okay, that's a double angle, to derive the formula sine alpha minus beta. So they want us to derive this formula. They want us to derive that formula. So they want us to derive that formula. So they want us to use this formula, but to derive that one. So we're gonna take what they want us to derive and write it down. So we have to derive this one using that method. So this one, you go to the formula sheet. You're gonna have cos 90 minus so you check what we want to achieve. So what we want to achieve, it's a cos alpha plus beta. So how can we change from sine to cos? So we want to achieve this, guys. The whole point of doing this equation is to achieve this. So they want us to achieve this. Okay? So how can we change from sine to that formula? So we have to use that formula. So the only way to change it is to use cos 90. Remember, the moment you say cos 90, it tells you that it's equals to sine. So remember what I told you. I told you that sine 90 plus theta equals to cos theta. Right? So we're gonna use that. So we're gonna say, because already they gave us this beta and alpha, so we're gonna include them. So we're gonna say cos 90 open bracket minus the angle that is given. So in this case, your theta is equal to that angle. The whole thing is your theta. So you just, where there's theta, you're gonna put this one. So you're gonna say alpha minus beta. Write it as it is. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is that how can you change? Remember, this is the same as sine theta, where theta equals to alpha minus beta. So what I'm trying to say is that how can you change from sine to cos? You can only change from sine to cos by saying cos 90 minus theta, where theta is equals to that, where theta equals to this. So let's check that. If you go to the calculator, you check how can you get a positive cos, a positive sine, sorry. It's if you say cos 90 minus 1, then you'll get a positive. But let's say you said cos 90 plus 1. You see, you've got a negative sign. You see, you've got a negative sign. Then it means the only one that can give you a positive sign, it's if you say cos 90 minus x, or cos 90 minus theta. Okay, so this is the only one. I showed you the calculator that you can change it to that format. So cos 90 minus theta is equals to sine theta. So this is the same as sine theta. Okay, so we did that. So I showed you already. I showed you that this is the same as cos 90 minus theta, where theta equals to the angle that they gave you. Okay, let's move to the next step. So now we remove the brackets, right? We remove what? The brackets. We remove the brackets. So you're gonna have cos, open bracket, 90 minus alpha, okay, plus beta. And then now you've got something like a double angle. Now you see you've got two angles in one, so you can use the brackets there, split them. You can split them. So this is one angle, there's another angle. You see, it's nice. It's nice. So this simply tells you that you can have something like this. You'll have cos 90 minus alpha, okay, that's the first angle. Then you say cos that angle beta, so it's like this one is A, this one is B. If you go to the formula sheet, you check the double angles, you'll see this. Sorry, not double angle, compound angles. Compound angles. These are your compound angles. Compound angles. You see? Then you'll have A minus sine 90 minus alpha, then sine beta. So the sine beta, here it's beta, here it's alpha. Why did I swap them? But it's fine, it's fine. Let's leave them like that. Even this one, this method can work, it's fine. Sine beta, okay. Then this will be equals to, what is cos 90 minus alpha? You just punch it on the calculator. It will change to sine, but is it positive or negative? Is it positive or negative? So you need to know that. So you can punch it on the calculator. We say cos, I told you that it's 90 minus 1. So it's a positive sign. Then we do the next one. We say sine 90 minus 1. 1 is alpha. You see it's a negative as well, so we'll have a negative there. It's a positive, sorry. So we'll change it to cos. Remember, if it's sine 90 minus alpha, it changes to cos. I told you, cos alpha. Cos alpha sine beta. Okay, and that's how you solve it. That's how you solve it. Okay. So on the next lesson, I'm going to be solving 6.3, which is also proving. So basically, they need you to prove that. They want you to prove. Okay, so we can do it on this episode. It's fine. So we can finish up this episode. It's fine. So here they gave you x, and then they gave you ny. So they show that x squared minus y squared is equals to sine 62. And then they gave you the values of x and y. So you're just gonna go and say, instead of writing x squared, you just write sine 76 squared where there is x. And then you say minus cos 76 all squared. Then they want you to prove that is equals to sine 62 degrees. It's fine. I told you that you have to say sine squared 76. Okay, minus cos squared 76. Alright. What is sine squared? So this is the same as sine squared theta minus cos squared theta. What is this? What is this? This is like a double angle. It's a double angle because the angles right here are the same. It's theta theta. So you know that sine squared theta minus cos squared theta is equals to, if you go to your formulas, you'll see that it's a double angle, but it's swapped. So it's swapped. This is swapped. Okay. So this you can change it to, you know that it's almost similar to the double angle. So you can just change it to, the double angle is cos squared theta minus sine squared theta. So you can change it to that format. And then you just put the negative outside. So you know that, like, look at this thing. It's almost similar to this, but the problem is that the signs are not the same. So you just put the negative outside. So if you put the negative outside, it will take you back to minus cos squared theta plus sine squared theta, which is the same as this one. See? So to make it a double angle, you're gonna change it to that. So this, obviously, in a double angle, you know that it's cos. This is cos 2 theta. You know that, right? So we're gonna factor out the negative. So you're gonna say negative outside, then you say cos squared 76 minus sine squared 76. Okay, and then from here you're gonna have, this is the same as a negative into cos 2 into, what is our theta? Our theta is 76. See, so you've got minus cos 2 into 76, right? Which is equals to minus cos 152 degrees, right? We are not done yet. So how can we reduce 152? How can we reduce 152? We can reduce 152. 152 is less than 180. So if we say it's less than 180, right? So we want to make it like sine 62. So how can we get sine 62? If we say 152 minus 62, what do you get? You see, you get 90. So this simply tells you that the angle that you can use there is 90. So I'm gonna teach you this. Don't worry. So you've got minus cos 152 degrees, and then we want to reduce it. You see, it's less than 180, so you cannot use 180 to reduce it. So we're gonna reduce it this way: minus cos, right? It's a 90. And then what is the angle? 90 plus 62. So this, if you add this two, you saw what I did, right? It's cos 152 if you add this two. So what is cos 90 plus 62? So it's more like you've got a minus cos 90, ignore the 62, plus x, right? So if you do this, you're gonna have a minus into a minus sine 62. You're gonna have a minus sine 62. If you check what is, remember, you take the angle that is there. When you change it, you take the angle that is there. So in this case, if the angle is x, so you're gonna have a minus into minus sine x. So instead of writing x, our x is equals to 62. So let x is equals to 62, right? So you see, your answer will be that, because in this case, instead of writing x, you write 62, right? So you see there, it's minus into minus 62. If you go to the calculator, you punch, you say minus, open bracket, you do it as it is. I want to show you something. cos 90 plus 62. Even if you write 62, you're gonna see the answer that you're gonna get. You see, it tells you that that minus goes away. If you don't include that minus, let me show you what's gonna happen. You remove the minus, you're gonna get a minus. You see, that's why I wrote minus sine x. That minus sine x, and also included the minus that comes from the original equation. And that's how you prove it. That's how you prove it, guys. That's how you prove it. Thank you for watching.